Scilly Stories, getting to know the people of Scilly. Hi Kylie.
Hi Erica, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yeah, we're all recovering, aren't we, on Scilly at the moment from the storm of the century that we've just had.
Yeah, a once in a lifetime one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. How did you get on up where you were?
We were lucky, we weren't affected and the gallery wasn't affected, but the trees, we just can't get over the number of trees that are down. It's so sad.
Yeah, all of those old pines, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone was saying that they reckon it's probably about 70% of the pines on St Mary's. I don't know how true that is, but
It's
that's
a huge number,
massive amount, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole landscape's changed. And looking to Tresco's been really badly hit. And, you can look along from the top end of St Mary's across to Tresco. It does look, there's gaping holes. It looks naked,
Yeah.
It's really strange.
I haven't seen your end of the island where you are, but just on the farm we had, quite a lot of trees down and a few hedges just kind of blown apart. It's just, I can't quite believe it.
It's been dominating our conversations this week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
On Scilly.
Well, we lost, most people on the island lost power anywhere between an hour and
a few days. You were out for a few days, weren't you?
Yeah, we were out for a few days. I secretly loved it, I have to say, like candle. But we, of course, did. We had a Rayburn, we had a wood burner. We had a little generator that ran our freezer, so I didn't have to panic too much. So I quite enjoyed the candlelit suppers and the early nights. So I was kind of living my dream a bit for a few days, of course.
Anyway, this week we are interviewing Derek Perkins from St Martin's. So we caught up with Derek in Park House, which is the local nursing home, where he's been recovering from a recent stroke.
Which happened on his 99th birthday, he told us, didn't he?
Yeah.
I have to say about this interview, and I know we say it every week, but I really loved it. I just love listening and hearing about how farming was done a long time ago. He's seen so much.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, he remembers the war. So he wasn't, well, he was on Scilly for a bit of the war, wasn't he? But he started off, he was sort of further up. But just, him describing what it was like, with bombers going past and, how life was back then, with restricted food and supplies and things like that. It's amazing really to think that he remembers all that and, how life has changed. But he's such a gentle soul, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And quite a wry sense of humour.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to him. I want to go back and have a chat with him again just because I really enjoyed his company and also listening to him talk about his wife.
She's just so in love. And
it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, it was just lovely to speak to him, like you say. So we hope you all enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, we generally start off just by asking, what brought you to Scilly?
My parents came here to take over the coastguard station in the war.
Okay. Where was the coastguard station?
Hiretown.
At Hiretown on St Martin's?
Yes, and used to keep a daily watch in the war at the day mark.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't bring me here in their first trip. They didn't think it was much for a young man trying to get his 13 and a half education. They will pack me off to Wellingborough, where I was first brought up, and they came to Scilly. And I got to Wellingborough after getting off the steamer, into the train up to far as London. Air raid sirens were going and mayhem for a start. Eventually got to Wellingborough and, took me down to the school to I suppose you sign in or something. Anyway, sorry, he said, chocolate block, we can't take any more. So I said, well, don't worry about that, I'll go to work. So I worked up there for couple of years with me uncle and aunt, who ran a milk business and peddled milk around and fed pigs and things to keep life going. It was dreadful, really. I suppose the worst instance was peddling up the road with me milk bucket and bottles of milk. Over the top of my head flew a German bomber.
Gosh.
Let go his bombs. I dived in the ditch, of course, like you would, try to shelter myself. Just a terrific explosion and went up in the air. There was a munition factory there, gasworks there, railway sidings here, and a big community allotment, which I think they rented strips of land out to people from the county or something. He dropped his bombs right in the middle of this lovely patch of, well, what would you call it? An allotment. So there was some hefty great pits to fill in that day. Only one poor bloke got clobbered. He came out the pub at the bottom of the road and see what was going on and got clobbered with a dollop of stuff, poor chap. So anyway, father come up for his annual 2 weeks holiday out of the coastguard. He looked at me and he thought, God, you're looking peaky, boy. With all this bombing and whatnot going on. Come home with me, he said, for a couple of weeks holiday. Oh, that'd be nice. Oh, on the train down the road and over to the Scillys. And when my time was up, I said, I aren't going back there. It's dreadful. All the bombing and carrying on. So I stayed in St Martin's. I came here for a holiday and I thought, well, this is very nice. I'll stop here. So I didn't go back to our hometown, Wellingborough. So got a farm labourer's job, 14 shillings a week. And, 15 shillings a week, that's right. 10 shillings for me mother's keep, 5 shillings. Go to Tresco, go to the pub occasionally.
So did you have your own boat to get to Tresco? Did you have your own boat, or how did you get to Tresco?
The islanders shared boats around them, rowing boats mostly, because it was in the war. Wasn't a lot of fuel for pleasure in those days. Sunday morning, pull down the old boat down the Lower Town Power, row across to Tresco and meet up with some of the relations that the crew had over there. Bernard Bond, Jim Stevens. They were part of usually the rowing crew. And then we'd end up with a little trip to the pub and drop with what you like to drink. And occasionally Tresco Farm, the big farm used to rear lots of little pigs. So some Martin's people would take a sack over occasionally and pop a young pig in to bring home with them.
I bet that was was that Wrigley on the way home?
Strange you should say that. One fell out the bottom of the bag. So that was a chase around the island to reclaim the pig back.
Pig chase.
So that was one of our trips to Tresco.
What was the what was Scilly like during the war then?
Oh, a lot different to what it is now, yes. It was a few big family islanders, the Stevens, the Middletown, what was it, Churchtown Farm. I think they had 10 children altogether. Was it?
At Churchtown Farm? Gosh.
And happened to be Ernest Christopher and his wife ran a little farm in Signal Row area, and had a daughter called Gladys, and eventually we had a few weekends together. Well, we used to go to the dances out to the reading room and one through another, what young people do. We decided, well, we'd get married and set up a little house in Signal Row, because Gladys's brother, Percy, married an English lady who, excuse me, didn't take to island life at all. So Percy up and sold me his boat, and they left the island. And so after a while, Ernie asked if I would go in with him farming, and that's how I got into the farming on the St. Martin's.
So Ernie was your father-in-law, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said your brother-in-law left. Was it quite sad when Islanders left?
Yeah, well, it is, yes. But this lady from Bristol area, was it? Didn't take to the island life at all. So a big item to do, wasn't it? To finish everything on St. Martin's and set up a little business on the mainland. But that's what they did, and eventually Gladys's parents decided they'd like to leave as well. So they emigrated, would you call it, to up the hill in Truro. Bought a little bungalow and said, well, there you are, there's a farm. When you made a bit of money to pay us for it, that'd be all right. And that's what we did. And so with two horses, well, a horse and a pony, 2 cows, field for a little place full of chickens. So that's where and the field's full of bulbs, of course. Forgot the bulbs. Yes. And life had its ups and downs. Had a little girl born down here in the hospital. And after a year or two, another little girl. And, well, she would try again. A little boy. So that was the 3 of our children.
When you were growing up here, Derek, what kind of food were you eating on St. Martin's?
Well, we always grew what do we call these gardens full of vegetables, vegetable pattern.
Kitchen garden?
That's the word, yeah, kitchen garden. And topped it up with the trips to the shop, yes.
Was there a shop on St. Martin's, or did you have to come down here to St. Mary's to shop?
In the first instance, there was a very small little places what sold. I didn't go there much myself, but the baker used to send bread from St Mary's 3 times a week, perhaps, is it? Ashford's the bakers of those days, and I can't really remember when the co-op came. So that's the big outlet now, isn't it? Yeah.
But you were you almost self-sufficient then, were you?
Well,
as much as you could be.
We grew early potatoes, late potatoes, like vegetables in the kitchen garden, carrots, beetroot, and more partly self-sufficient, would you say it is? And so there we are.
Tell us about, I'm interested in the parties at the reading room.
All the parties. Well, they had the big main one, Christmas time, with Father Christmas and all the decorations and whatnot. But rest of the time was a Saturday dance, Wistrod and dance. That's how various people met up with their partners, yes.
And did most people go along?
Hmm?
Did most people on the island go along?
There seemed to be a regular group of people who liked playing whist drives.
Right.
I suppose not everybody's cup of tea, is it? Whist drives. But there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 tables of 4
Quite busy.
playing whist. And then the youngsters would come to the dance afterwards when if they wanted to bother to play the whist drives. Yeah.
We read about something called goose dancing that happens on St Martin's.
Goose dancing.
Yeah, can you tell us about that?
Well, it was a simple bit of fun, really. People would disguise themselves and knock on the doors, and they'd let you in. And sometimes, if you're lucky, offer you a drink and try to fathom who was in the disguise. Yes.
Sounds like so much fun.
So that was. It seemed to turn to goose dancing, but it wasn't goose dancing. It was guys dancing, because you was
Disguised.
dressed up to try to confuse people who you were. Yeah.
Sounds hilarious.
The other thing I was going to ask you about was when you were farming a long time ago, what was the differences between farming then and farming now? Like, you've farmed flowers throughout a lot of ages, haven't you?
Yes, a horse used to do the ploughing, yeah, and, harrowing and lifting and all sorts. We relied on a good-sized horse, yes. And they would, after doing it for a few years, they would get quite knowledgeable, and you could send them off with a hay mower and they would mow the field without sitting on the back. You could be doing another little job in the field, turning and that.
They were almost employed. It was like a workforce.
It was the farm horse, and and usually had a pony as well to run around on the little carts, getting the food provisions from some areas and mainland. Occasionally, we weren't self-sufficient in different ways.
A lot more than we are now, I think.
Then it was difficult with getting the flowers away. The steamship company were once a good in some of the time. Then we had the helicopter in later years would land on Pool Green and take away our flowers.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. So you had the helicopter would come into St Martin's, land on the cricket pitch there. You'd have the helicopter come in.
Helicopter came in
specifically just to get the flowers.
Yes. They would take the seats out so they could have rows of flowers up and down the inside. Yes, yeah.
What's been the biggest change in farming?
Oh, you have to ask that, I suppose, don't you? It changed from flowers to visitors, which was apart from about 1, 2, well, I suppose 4 farmers out of 20 kept going, I suppose. Churchtown flowers and what was it called? Ashford down Middletown.
So
ourselves. There were just a few hardy old souls that kept going, and with the transport was, well, we started with trains from Penzance to London, and then they packed it up for some reason. And then we had the lorries from Marizion. That fell through as well. And I'm afraid the flower industry was failing because people growing old. Don't look at me. And lucrative business of visitors came along, and last year or two we were lucky. A couple came and took Churchtown Farm and could see there was no flowers, no money in trying to get flowers away to market, and started the postal business. And the last few years, a piece of cake, really. Go out and pick the flowers, bundle them up, and stick them in the packing place up in Churchtown Flower Farm, and they would give you a nice check if you were lucky at the end of the season. Yeah.
So originally there were about 20 flower farms on St Martin's.
There was, yes.
There's a huge amount.
There were 3. There was 3 down Middletown, Lowertown, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of our town. Soldiered on,
and you've been farming up until, you were farming a few weeks ago, weren't you?
Well,
you're still picking flowers, aren't you?
Sadly, Gladys got Alzheimer's. Well, I aren't sure whether it was Alzheimer's or dementia. One of the two, and one is some looking after, and So happened to be, we were lucky to get Megan, who done 2 hours morning, 2 hours afternoon looking after Gladys, and I could do a bit out on the farm for must have been about 3 years, I suppose. But old age crept up, and all I could do was to sit on the tractor and cut a bit of fence and let the rest go. And lucky to be Andrew's wife, Hannah, Karen Farm, decided she liked cutting flowers. So still sends through flowers up, going shares with Andrew and Hannah, picking them and processing them, taking them up Churchtown. Because the Karen Farm hadn't got me early flowers, but we both had belladonna lilies, which, strangely enough, Churchtown were pleased to have them, delighted to have these belladonna lilies.
Mm.
And so still had a check or two going into the bank.
It's quite impressive, Derek, because how old are you?
99.
99.
And I was struck down on my 90th birthday, 99th birthday. Yes.
Oh, was it? 99th birthday?
Yes. I don't get all excited about me birthdays, I suppose, not these days, but I was getting a bit excited, I suppose. Happened to be my birthday was on a Wednesday when they started me bowling again out in the community hall, and while I was busy getting small glasses, a bottle or two of wine together to take after the game on a Wednesday afternoon, and somebody decided that he had another idea in his head and shot me down with a stroke, wasn't it? Yes.
Not the best birthday present.
Aye?
Not the best birthday present for you. Your 99th birthday.
I waiting now for the next call, and I'll join the wife up in churchyard, I suppose. But get to my age, you don't bother much about those sort of things, do you? That's eventually it's going to happen, and it hasn't happened to me yet. Apparently they tried on my 99th birthday, and Julia always come to see how we got on two or three times a week, and she came that morning about 9:30 in the morning, and she had to go and get the key to get in, and there was me stretched out on the floor in the back kitchen. So she got her son Andrews, a big strong lad, and Ben Gillette. What do they call these?
First responder.
Auxiliaries, is it? Auxiliary.
Yeah.
So they gathered me up and got some more help. Well, it had to be. There was a couple of nurses came on the boat that morning and got me down here.
I was going to say, it must be quite hard because you're on St Mary's and you've got all your family on St Martin's. So you're sort of separated by sea, aren't you?
I suppose with good help and with the people who work in these sort of places, I mean, can't fault it really. They say they'll get me home for Christmas. See how it goes. But yeah, these strokes are a bit hard to get over, apparently.
That just kind of makes me think, when you're on St Martin's, you know, on St Mary's, we think we've got a good community, but on the off islands, it's a really small community, isn't it? And it's a really close community that you have over there, isn't it?
Oh, well, yes, I suppose. And if we were, I was lucky with Gladys that Julia came across when she done her extra education and was going to be a teacher, and she one round of that finished her off, and she came back to St Martin's. Thank goodness for us, or me, because of the help she gave us when Gladys was poorly. Was well, couldn't better it.
How long were you and Gladys married for?
1947 to 2025, is it?
Yeah, that's what you're in.
Or would it be 24?
Was it last year she died?
Yes.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah. Yes, that was one of my saddest parts of island life. Yes. Yeah. But with family, that's right. Julia met with Steve on the island, and they got married, and had the daughter and a son, I suppose, wasn't it? Yeah. I get a bit confused with the who married who and what children did they have and how many. And
I'd get confused.
but Valerie and her husband thought they'd done their stint in education. We set up a vineyard for them. So that was two family extra to my little family, yeah. And enjoyed helping them pick a few grapes out in the field and stick through the processor. But they since had various illnesses, and they well, they've packed up growing vines themselves, but a couple have taken over and are doing it quite well, I think.
Yeah, is it Holly and James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I actually saw, you won't know this, but I think it must have been maybe last year. I saw you on Par Beach with Gladys, and you were walking down the beach, and I just thought I would just aspire to be like you guys. It was just, I don't know, amazing to see you together on the beach, and just such a lovely couple. Like, it was a lovely sight for me.
She loved the Par Beach with the shells and things that it turned up, small coloured stones, and there's half her life almost to if the weather was reasonable, always run down to the Power Beach in the van and stroll around, sometimes halfway to English Island, I suppose. Yeah. Yes. She she loves St. Martin's. Yep.
She was born on St. Martin's, wasn't she? She grew up.
Yes.
Spent her whole life on St. Martin's.
She was born in the house that we lived in. Yes.
Oh, really?
Mm.
In Signal Row. In fact, there's your whole family's in Signal Row, aren't they?
Well, yes. Thought we'd just hang on to it. We were people were taking houses and doing them up for visitor lets, and there was a house between us and the house that Valerie and Graham settled in, and so we've got Signal Row. Yeah. I suppose a bit naughty, I suppose, really, but
No, not at all, I don't think. But
no.
Derek, I want to know about your gig rowing career. How old were you when you first started
The gig
rowing the
rowing?
gigs?
My son-in-law wanted a coxswain, and I said, "Well, I'll try. I haven't done any coxes at all." But they had this boat from St Mary's to get into the rowing business, and we got a good crew together, and eventually we won a few races, I suppose you call it. And well, like things do, some of the crew got older and left and took on some new ones, and still managed to carry on for 12 years. 12 years ago. But I'm pleased I rode with them the last race from Guthers to Lowertown. We won it, so.
I've heard about this race. You were dragged out of retirement, weren't you?
Yes, dragged out.
In your 80s, was it?
Maybe in my 90s, I don't know.
It was a pretty spectacular race, wasn't it?
But we were birthed in the eastern end of the start line, and there wasn't much current against us, whereas further out, the tide was flowing quite hard against them. So we kept in the eastern side of the races until we come to Lowertown Par, and then we looked around and we were winning, so we won.
So yeah. Can I clarify? Were you coxing or were you rowing?
I was rowing. Yes, very good. I wouldn't be here today if I had rowed that day. Yeah.
Well, as a cox, you can take full credit for that then, because
that is a cox's race. That one up to there, isn't it? Knowing the tides and knowing where you can go.
Well,
they always say that one's one of the cox's race.
Yeah. So very pleased to get that under my belt. Yeah.
You must have been a hero.
Well, had a few drinks in the hotel lounge, and eventually they dragged us all out and put the gig away, and that's the end of me gigging.
I tell you what, that must be quite, a good one to finish on, because
yes.
I always think when the off islands win a race, it means quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you win on your own islands.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
You can't peak that, can you? Really?
at least one, I think, of the long ones from the starting Higher Town Power and end up to St Mary's Quay. In the first instance, we had this heavy gig they'd lent us before we had one built, and they gave us 20 seconds start, I think it was. 20 seconds. So we were paddling away ahead of everybody else, and I don't know, in the end, we got down St Mary's Quay with the others almost out of sight behind us. So, yeah, it's strange because there were visitors waiting, and some islanders, I suppose, waiting for the gigs to come in and cheer them in, and they were looking over the side, the quay, looking at this one strange boat been tied up, and all the rest come tootling in later on. So that clobbered us really, because they stopped giving us 40 seconds start.
We've also seen a picture of you standing next to now we don't know what it's called. Is it called the Galatea or the Galatee?
Galatee.
Galatee. Yeah.
Ah.
No one knows on St Mary's what it's really called.
Galatee, yes.
Really?
How they built over here, and I don't think I rode in it very much, or coxed in it very much at all. I expect I'd given up in them days, hadn't I? I don't know.
That's your that's St Martin's, that newer gig, isn't it?
Yes.
That's your kind of racing
yes.
gig.
It looked like you were there for the launch. You were launching it.
Yeah, we launched her, towed her up to St Martin's, Higher Town Quay, and had an official send-off, yes. I suppose I poured a drop of the good stuff over a bow or something on that.
Just a couple more things we want to ask you. Sorry, we're keeping you, aren't we? Was about the road laying on St Martin's.
Uh-huh.
Was that quite a big event when the road got put in on St Martin's?
Well, it was we would do a stretch each year after the flowers were died down, and before you would start the rest of the farm work, we would put a week on the roads, and got a stretch done. Well, I suppose it was a bit naughty, really. I was chairman of the road committee, and well, we got this 10 ton of cement and 34 ton of gravel all lined up to go somewhere, and well, I said, can we do Signal Road, because it's a dusty all summer and mud and stuff running down the road all winter. Well, they eventually agreed, and that's where we started the main lot of roads. It's up at Niche's Quarter, we called it, up, and then down Signal Row to the top of Power Hill. That was the first stretch we did, and decided to do a stretch each year after that, because I think partly the farmers were mostly single men. They're not single men, just one man on these small farms over there, and each year we thought we'd have a carry on, and eventually got the Lord down. Yeah. But it was a bit of a sad start, really, on this first stretch of road. It got this nice big cement mixer from the may have been from the council. I'm not quite sure. A great big bowl that you'd throw all your necessary, 4 buckets of this and 1 bucket of that, and the water on top of it. It would churn out a nice bit of cement for the road, and all of a sudden we heard a yell. One silly man was throwing water into the cement mixer, and it caught and nearly wrenched his arm off.
Oh gosh.
So, that's enough of that. So they threw the cement mixer under the hedge, and we turned it 3 times dry, 3 times wet, and shoveled it all up.
Wow.
You did it all by hand in the end.
Did it by hand, yeah.
Gosh.
We were stupid in them days, weren't we?
A lot fitter.
A lot fitter.
Yeah.
Now, I heard a rumour, I don't know if this is true, but that maybe the council or the government said they would do the road or pay for the road for you on St Martin's, but people on St Martin's said no, because if we do that, we'll have to pay road tax.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. We paid for the cement by having donations from different mainland families that took a cottage on St Martin's when the flour industry was dying off, and I suppose money did buy stuff in those days without having to pay so much, wasn't it? So if 3 or 4 cottage owners, they let it people, or sometimes stayed it themselves for their own holiday. I don't know, they gave £20, or may have been £50 a year to buy the cement. So with the gravel off the beaches and cement paid by cottage owners, it was sorted.
Just got it done.
Yeah. No, I think all of your fans are better at just getting stuff done.
Yeah.
Not Aunts and Marys.
Just don't wait round for someone else to do it. Just get it done. I think that's a great thing to learn, isn't it? Also, were you in the coastguard?
Yes. I ran the coastguards for lots of years when my father died, I suppose. Yeah, that was another little job that I could do in between farming and looking after a family.
A man of many hats.
Yes. I'm totally amazed at the people who seem to think that I've done my share on St Martin's. But I must have done something good, I suppose. We used to have a strong chapel congregation in my young days. I mean, the seats would be all full. Now, if you get 4 people in one seat and 2 in another and 2 in another, that's about it now. But there we are. And I don't know whether I would be. What do they call secretary? What do they call money men?
Treasurer.
Treasurer, that's the word. I was treasurer for about 40 years, I suppose.
Oh, are you? That's a long time.
I suppose people think I was a man of many different jobs, I suppose, at one time.
Seems to be quite common on the off islands. You do
Oh,
all sorts.
yes, get different jobs to run.
Right. Well, we'll finish up, but just before we go, I'd like to ask you what's your favourite bit about the Isles of Scilly or St Martin's?
Well, island life, really. Getting married or having the first child come along or winning the first race to St Mary's from St Martin's Gate. Oh, I suppose quite a few things have cropped up between working.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
You're very welcome.
That's
Derek, it's been so interesting listening to your life.
Yes.
You've seen so much.
You're welcome.
Hopefully you enjoyed that episode. If you did, you can always like and subscribe.
Or you can, in fact, follow us on social media. We are on both Instagram and Facebook at Scilly Stories Podcast. Yeah, we are loving recording these, aren't we?
We are, and we really appreciate all your feedback and the comments that we've received. So yeah, thank you for that. It's really lovely.